Welcome to Whisperwood Stories. Today we read a story from Library of Shadows by user Deadbull. Let's begin. The Leviathans of the Abyss. I never thought that my lifelong passion for deep-sea exploration would lead me to this moment, alone in a submersible, hurtling towards the deepest point on Earth, the Mariana Trench. The thrill of the unknown and the lure of discovery had always been my driving force, and now it had brought me here, to the edge of the abyss. As the submersible descended further and further into the darkness, I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. The pressure was immense, and the sound of the water rushing past the hull was deafening. But I pushed on, knowing that the reward of discovering something new and groundbreaking was worth the risk. Suddenly, something caught my eye on the sonar, a large blip, moving towards me at an alarming speed. My heart raced as I tried to make sense of what I was seeing. It was too big to be a fish, but too fast to be a rock. As it got closer, I could see that it was some kind of creature, unlike anything I had ever seen before. It was massive, easily the size of a small car, with a long, slender body that seemed to shimmer in the dark water. But that wasn't the strangest thing. It seemed to be following me, matching my every movement. I tried to keep my composure, reminding myself that this was the reason I was here, to witness something truly remarkable. But as the creature got closer, I could feel my fear taking over. The adrenaline surged through my body, and I could feel myself shaking. Suddenly, the creature lunged at the submersible, slamming into the hull with tremendous force. The impact sent the submersible spinning out of control, and I struggled to regain my bearings. It felt like we were being tossed around like a ragdoll, and I could hear the metal cracking and groaning under the stress. Just as suddenly as it had started, the attack stopped. The creature had disappeared into the darkness, leaving me alone and disoriented in the abyss. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself and assess the damage. The submersible seemed to be holding up, but I knew that I couldn't stay here for long. The attack had brought home just how vulnerable I was, and how little I knew about the creatures that inhabited this part of the ocean. With a sense of unease, I continued my descent into the trench. Every moment felt like an eternity, with the pressure building and the darkness closing in. My mind was racing, trying to imagine what other horrors might be lurking in these depths. Suddenly, I saw something move out of the corner of my eye. I turned to face it, but it was already gone. I strained my eyes, trying to see through the darkness, but it was impossible. I couldn't even tell if it was the same creature that had attacked me earlier or something else entirely. The next few minutes were a blur of movement and sound. Every so often, I would catch a glimpse of something darting through the water, always just out of reach. The attacks grew more frequent, and each time the submersible would shake and shudder under the impact. I knew that I couldn't keep this up for long. The submersible was taking a beating, and it was only a matter of time before it gave out entirely. I needed to make a decision. Stay and risk my life for the sake of discovery, or turn back and live to explore another day. Just as I was about to make my choice, something slammed into the submersible with a force that I had never felt before. The metal groaned and bent under the weight, and I felt water rushing in through the cracks. I knew that I had to act fast. With a sudden burst of energy, I engaged the emergency ascent system. The submersible rocketed towards the surface, and I could feel the pressure relenting with each passing second. But even as I soared towards my safety, my heart was heavy with the knowledge that I had failed. I had not found what I was looking for, and I had barely escaped with my life. As a submersible broke the surface, I was greeted by a team of worried faces. They rushed to help me out of the craft and onto the safety of the support vessel. But even as they congratulated me on my bravery, I knew that I had only survived by the skin of my teeth. As the adrenaline faded away, my body began to ache all over. But more than anything, I felt a sense of loss. The Mariana Trench had nearly claimed my life, and I had nothing to show for it. The creature that had attacked me was still out there, lurking in the darkness, and I couldn't help but wonder what other terrors were hidden beneath the waves. But even as I mulled over my failure, I knew that I would return to the trench one day. The lure of discovery and the thrill of the unknown were still too strong for me to resist. Perhaps next time, I would be better prepared, with stronger equipment, and a better understanding of the creatures that lived in the deep. For now, though, I would rest and recover. The memory of the attack would haunt me for some time, but I knew that I would eventually shake it off. I was an explorer, after all, and that meant facing danger head-on, no matter the cost. Thank you for listening to Whisperwood Stories. If you enjoyed, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe down below. Do you have a story that you'd like me to read here? Consider commenting or sending it to whisperwoodsubmissions@gmail.com. The story in this video was read with the author's permission. Thank you again for listening, and be sure to check out the original Reddit post. Want to support me? Check the link below where you can leave a tip if you wish. And remember, don't let the shadows get too close.